What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HudcoRoofing.com. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all who hung out with us last night on Nightcap. And I see that my phone auto-corrected FloRida to FloRida, for those of you on YouTube. That's fun. Cannot shake this cough, y'all. Holy goodness. This dry cough, I've had it since Sunday. It is really annoying. Anyway, appreciate everybody who joined us for Nightcap last night. Good time for sure. Ended up hanging out for 2.5 hours. E-Rock came in. We did an impromptu Ask E-Rock. So if you want to check that out on the Facebook or YouTube channel, do it. Appreciate that. I'm pretty sure this coffee mug didn't get washed. I'll look at it. I'm pretty sure that this probably never got in the dishwasher. Oh well. I'm the one who used it, so whatever. Josh Higginbot, let's say some good morning. So Corey Raymond, FloRida. I think it's disappointing. Just again to summarize my thoughts on it, I have no doubt at all what it is. It's, Corey, I think realized that he was never going to be a defensive coordinator at LSU, but wanted to be valued, and the way you could show him that is financially. And Corey's making $575K. Last year, Brad Davis, offensive line coach, comes in, makes $830. I think became the highest paid offensive line coach in the country. And then now we find out they're paying Frank Wilson $900K. So if you're Corey Raymond, you're looking around going, what do I have to do? So I have not seen his contract at FloRida, but I bet you it's going to be something similar to that. He'll get a title and a big raise, and FloRida's willing to give him what LSU wouldn't. So you could say good riddance, and that's fine. I think LSU's bigger than one coach or one player. I also think it's kind of silly if you're saying, well, why would Corey Raymond walk over $200K or something like that? I would flip it and say, why would LSU let him walk over something so negligible? And now you've got Napier, Jabbar Jalouk, and Corey Raymond all at FloRida recruiting against you. And they will get players out of Louisiana. Make no mistake, they will. Okay, let's say some good mornings. Chris H., Jonathan Martin, Chad, Adcock at COVID. It's not COVID. Went through COVID last year and did just fine with it. But everybody be, but it's not. It's this dry cough. Erica had it. She gave it to me. And anyway. Huey Miller, good morning, Matt. If you think a transfer starts at QB next year, does Nuss transfer? That's a really good question, man. And I would say let's see how spring plays out. Maybe we go through spring and Nuss is looking like the best option. So then the answer would be no. But we still got to figure out who they're going to hire, right, as OC, and then see who they bring in. So it's hard to answer that without knowing the answer to those questions. Jesse Brown, morning from Charlotte. Would the Saints take and get a high draft pick? They're not going to tank. It's just not in their DNA. I just don't think that they're going to be able to help it because they're not very good. Would you go receiver? Yeah. I mean, I think your biggest need clearly is receiver, and you have to decide what you could do at cornerback. You paid Lattimore, but are you good with a Debo on the other side? Remember, you're going to be better because you're going to get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back, who plays your sort of nickel safety role, but you could certainly use another corner. And what about Bradley Roby? Do you pay him? So that's kind of the decision. Receiver, cornerback, I think is the go-to there. Andrew Repass, good morning. How badly will losing Corey affect the DB room? It'll have an impact. Like, make no mistake. I don't think any chance you had of getting Elias Ricks back is now gone. So, not that there was a great chance to begin with, but Eric Gullett, good morning. Eric Wilderotter, morning. Raymond's a stud. It's interesting that two really smart coaches, Aranda and Kelly, didn't want him to coach the entire secondary. Something there. No, I think it's just different strokes, different manners in which they coach defense, communicate defense, want defense coached and communicated, or at least that's. Hold, wait, let's back up. Let's back up. That was Aranda. You can't say that Kelly didn't want him or to coach the entire secondary. We don't know that for sure. We know Kelly typically has had two defensive back coaches, and maybe Corey Raymond didn't want to fool with that. That's not to say you don't want him back or it's any commentary on Corey Raymond, right? That was the case with Dave Aranda. Trivia, what's up? Rapping Batches, Danny Burney, Joey Vincent, out to boot. Brushing my teeth, the morning scone. Andrew, what about Tyke Tolbert as wide receiver coach? Surely once out of the Giants dumpster fire. Don't know. I know Tyke Tolbert's someone they talked about a couple of years ago, but I don't know what that means for Brian Kelly. The name that I heard was Cortez Hankton. So that's the only one I've heard so far. It's not to say that's the guy, but that's the only target I've heard so far. LW, LSU will get a transfer quarterback as well, I'm sure. They absolutely, but they have to. Chad, Kelly's the one who let him walk. So sort of, Chad. I mean, ultimately, the athletic department has to make the decision if they're going to pay him or match or whatever. So we'll get context of that. But you can offer someone a job, but and a role and a salary, and they could take it or get a better offer. So I guess you could say, well, they could have matched, but if Brian Kelly wants two coaches in the secondary and Corey don't want to be a part of that, well, then you have a difference of opinions, and you could separate for that reason. So there's a big difference between like letting him walk or not wanting him and just having a different vision aligned. So you just part. Jason Mobile, what's up, man? Brandon Brazel, Stephen Wallace, good morning from Hoover, Alabama. Danny Landry, good morning from the big town of Pierre Part. Love the show. Keep doing your thing. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you watching, man. Y'all do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube there, smash that like button. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Damian Bowe, good morning from DeBerry. Let's see. Terry Adams, Aaron Guidry, Caballero. Let's say it came down to only being able to keep one. Who would you want, Wilson or Raymond? Ooh, good question. I'll say Frank Wilson. I think LSU, because I think the DBU lineage or brand is established enough now to where I think if you get the right guy in and you lean into your alumni, you can continue that. Frank, I would tell you, because he'll recruit more than just his position group. I think that's one of the really big keys to Frank. But Frank's primarily going to recruit one area, New Orleans, whereas Corey recruited defensive backs from all over. So it's a little bit of a, give or take, but I'd probably go Frank. Robert Martin, good morning. Steve Colson, LSU will not miss Corey. Frank Wilson will beat them all in recruiting. Steve, to say they're not going to miss Corey is a little disingenuous. Because Corey is a dynamic recruiter, and he's good. And look, if Corey Raymond had gone to Nebraska, where LSU hired him from 10 years ago, you're probably right. But going to Florida hurts, man, because they already end up in recruiting battles with LSU for the best defensive backs. you play him every year. I mean, it matters. It's disingenuous to say you're not going to miss him at all. Chris Elaine, good morning. Terry Adams, what quarterback is a possible transfer? The name that I heard initially was Dylan Gabriel from UCF. Now, that name was in conjunction with Jeff Lebby, the Ole Miss offensive coordinator, who just was hired by Oklahoma. So we actually don't know if that would be the answer. Aaron Rodgers, Buffalo Trace Neat will help that cough. Did some whiskey last night for Whiskey Wednesday nightcap with Scone. It didn't help. Maybe temporarily, actually, yeah. Not this morning, though. Jimmy Tate, good morning. Do teams run the head coach's offense or the OC's offense? I guess it depends on who the head coach is, Jimmy. You know, if you're Dave Aranda and you're a defensive guy and you hire an OC, you let your OC run the offense. Omaha Media, Miles is high on the list to be there. I guess you mean Nebraska. To be Nebraska's quarterback after Martinez. Yeah, curious. Dylan Hess, will the Texas game that was canceled last year be rescheduled? It's a good question, Dylan. I'm sure they'd like to. I don't know how they do, because keep in mind, Dylan, you've got, listen, keep in mind, you've got your non-conference games scheduled out for a decade, and plus Texas is coming into the league. So before you could get that return trip, they're already going to be in the conference. So it's not likely to be made up as a non-conference game. Tack Miner said Brian Kelly's coming to visit his son this weekend. Denver Harris, the #1 quarterback in the country. No kidding. I saw Tack Miner had his jersey retired this week. I saw John Brady posted a picture of he and Tack Miner. He went to go to Tack Miner's high school where he had his jersey retired in the Houston area. That's awesome. Jason Horn, good morning. Sam Dixon, morning, Matt. Surprised Raymond left. Not that surprised. Hard to be shocked by anything after the last 2 years. Got to believe Kelly will find his guy. So he's got his guy. And just forgive me, I don't know the guy's name. I gotta learn it. Kerry Cooks, former Oklahoma Notre Dame defensive back, co-DC Kerry Cooks. Role hasn't been decided yet. He'll be an assistant on Brian Kelly's staff. So we'll see if he's the DB coach or if there's multiple DB coaches or however that goes. KP, what's up, man? Is it true Brian Kelly told Max he plans to get an elite quarterback from the transfer portal? I mean, there's no doubt that they're going after a quarterback in the transfer portal. They have to, but that's also not why Max Johnson left. Because, I mean, since I would say the Arkansas thing probably sealed it. It was probably already a possibility. And the Arkansas thing sealed it with them benching him for us for no real reason. Anyway, Joe Simon, your Falk may be headed to Florida also. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. The only thing that would surprise me about that is I know Kevin, his family is in Karen Crow, and the proximity to LSU and being able to drive to work and be near his family. That was all very appealing to Kevin. I know his son. Obviously, he lost his daughter this year. His son, I know, is a high school athlete. I actually don't know if he finished his eligibility. So some of you probably know that. I'm just looking it up right now. And whatever, I'll find it later. Y'all know, I don't know if he's still there. I know that was one of the reasons why Kevin was initially not a full-time staff member. He wanted to be able to coach his son's team and watch play. There was a lot of stuff like that. 7:50. Let me do 5 more minutes, y'all. Brian Powell, Matt Gardner. Brian Powell needs some Saints positive vibes. May have 9 wins on the year. Need at least a push. Well, I got to get this one. I mean, they can beat the Jets. I don't think they can win at Tampa. They can win a home game against Miami for sure, and Carolina, and they can win at Atlanta. That's why, even if they end up going a little bit of a run here, we will look back at the home games against the Giants and the Falcons and say, that's where you lost your season. Chris Lee will miss Corey. Hate losing successful coaches that are alums. Same reason we're endeared to Scott. Success cures all feelings. It's true. And I believe that LSU will be fine, y'all. I mean, I'll continue to say this same as I did when Max entered the portal. LSU's bigger than one player or one coach. So LSU's going to be fine. Caleb Williams to LSU, from your mouth to God's ears. Nicholas Cantrell, is Cordell Flott head to the draft? That's a big one to keep an eye on. I haven't heard yet. Where do you think Max ends up? I really don't know, Chad. If I had to guess, I'd say Florida State. Can Walker Howard be a starter as a freshman? Can he? Probably yes. Jesse, I'll tell you that in conversations I've had with Jamie, candidly, I think they'd like him to redshirt. Because, excuse me, he's just a smart guy, right? I mean, he gets it. Like, it's better for his 18-year-old son to be able to sit and watch for a year and grow physically and watch the SEC and adjust before being thrown right into it. So, anyway. Brett Garofola, morning, bro. Does John Emery return? Good question. I haven't heard what John Emery's plans are. My guess is that he'd just go to the draft, but I do not know. Steve Blanchard, does RC get a call to replace Raymond? I do not believe so, Steve. I don't know that that's... I mean, look, here's what I know. Like, RC would do it, and he'd be fantastic at it. I'm telling y'all. I don't think many people know, because you see RC on TV, most people don't ever see him at traction. Ryan's DB precision thing that he runs, there are dozens of NFL defensive backs that come to Baton Rouge in the summer to train with Ryan Clark. Like, he is an elite defensive backs coach, trainer. Like, elite. I mean, like, all pro defensive backs come here to work with him. So, like, from a technical standpoint, could he do it? Yes. Would Brian Kelly take that chance, hire a first time? I don't know. Probably not. But I don't know. Ryan would do it. But I don't think he will. Is Brian Kelly going to sing back up for Garret? Jude Jaro, good morning. As always, I'll shout out to Brock. I have about 2 minutes left, so I'm going to go quickly here. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. You need an orthopedist. Y'all know Brock is the answer. So many of you have shared your stories with me over the years of if it was a knee surgery, a shoulder, whatever it might have been. My mom had her hip replacement recently at Brock. You'll know I had my knee surgery at Brock. Official, doctors of the Saints and of LSU. I mean, good enough for them. It's good enough for you and me, right? So Brock, and of course Hudco Roofing. Got a meeting with our Hudco partners this morning, a little strategy meeting. So go drop Drew off at school and get to that. But look, if you have damage or think you might have roof damage, let us come do that inspection. If you know you had damage from Ida and you're still waiting, we can help expedite that. We can meet with your insurance. We can handle all of that process for you. We can supplement your claim. And we have materials we can get to you quickly. HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Let's see, Jeremy Marceau, Scott Lumine. Remember what the Mississippi State quarterback did to us last year? That's not all on Bo. Raymond has to take blame for that too. No, that's all on Bo. That's 100% all on Bo Pelini. That he ran man the whole game. Like, that's on Bo. 100% on Bo. Frank Wilson good at finding diamond in the rough like Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, that's one example of an outlier. And by the end, Tyrann was a 4-star. So, yes, but you're not really recruiting diamonds in the rough at LSU. You're trying to win battles for 5 stars. Can we get Cooper back? I don't know where Ron Cooper is right now. We'll start to dig into that. That's what a lot of my day today is going to be. Is I know that they've got the one defensive back coach hired, but what else is? Who else are they targeting? What about the coordinator hires? Because I know all of y'all are asking. And DC has been much more tight-lipped than OC. but 2 of the 4 names that I've heard for OC now have jobs in Levy and Chip Long. The others were Kendall Briles and the guy from Wake Forest, Warren Ruggiero. I mean, he's just the Wake Forest OC. All right, y'all, 7:55. I really got to get going because I got to get Drew up and get him to school. So, y'all have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. AFR is coming up at 3 o'clock, and we'll see you there. Peace. Y'all have an awesome day.